What's up, guys? So in today's video, we're going to be covering the 3 most unexpected winners and the 3 unexpected losers from the big balance patch that just came out for Dragon Ball FighterZ. So I think we all know kind of who got the biggest buffs and nerfs, you know, like Piccolo and Beerus, they got really big buffs. Android 16 and Bardock got big nerfs. And if you want to see videos kind of covering who the patch directly impacted the most, I recommend Dato, Doya, and Rufalmonger kind of did videos about this already. The links are down in the description. But what I'm going to be covering are characters who really didn't get changed that much by the patch, but just because of the other relative shifts, I think are going to be changing a lot and how often you see them in high-level play. So to start things off, I'm going to talk about the 3 unexpected losers. The first one I want to talk about is Vegeta Blue. So Vegeta Blue got very little changed in the patch, which I think is kind of unfortunate for fans of the character. While I don't think Vegeta Blue is like bottom tier, I don't think he's horrible, I think he's pretty playable, but he's just way too overshadowed by the other Vegetas. Super Saiyan Vegeta and Base Vegeta both offer their own things that make them unique and playable. Super Saiyan Vegeta obviously has the insane assist. Base Vegeta, he's got the loops and he's got that level 3 that leads into the crazy corner mix-ups. He's got the little fireball mix-ups where he chucks the fireball up in the air. Vegeta Blue can't really do that. So Vegeta Blue, he just doesn't have anything to set him apart, unfortunately. I mean, like, his assist is really bad. It makes him hard to fit on a team. So it's just like, what do we do with this character? Really, the only reason to play him is just if you're a really big fan of the character. But if you've got, 2 characters on your team and you're looking for a third, very few people are going to be thinking about adding Blue Vegeta. He really needed something to set him apart, and in my opinion, he didn't get it. Like, if they gave him more combo routes so it would be easier to combo into his anti-air grab or something like that, that would have been nice. Maybe improve his projectile so his projectile game is stronger. But he just needed something. He didn't really get anything. It's unfortunate. I think you're going to see even less of the character. You pretty much never see him now. But yeah, I don't think that that's going to be changing at all. So first loser here we're talking about is Vegeta Blue. Next up, another unexpected loser I think is Cooler. So Cooler, he's one of my favorite characters. And he didn't really get changed at all. I think he was already a very strong character, and he got almost no changes in the patch. So you'd think, okay, that's fine. But there is one change that affects him a lot, and that is the change to assist calls. So if the opponent is pressuring you, now you cannot call assists during the small gaps in pressure. There needs to be about a half a second gap before you're allowed to call an assist. So I'm just mashing assist here, and you can see the assist won't come out until there's like a fairly long gap. So because Cooler Assist is so good at like blasting through the opponent's attacks, like that's what the assist is really good for. It's invincible. It'll go through whatever the opponent is trying to do, but you can't call it in these defensive situations anymore. It's just not a good defensive tool, which I think is unfortunate. Cooler, I think, used to be a very, very good sort of support character. Because of the power of this assist, because I think he does well in any position on the team, I think he was a very good second or third slot character. I don't think that that's going to change too much, but I do think that he is going to get a little bit weaker here. This assist that I used to think was kind of a very powerful assist, one that most teams would want to have, I think is going to be a lot more situational now. Really, I think you're only going to want to use this if you can enable really good combos with it, or if you have like a really character-specific setup with it. Otherwise, it just doesn't have the same general use practicality that it used to have. So, Cooler, I think he's still a good character. I just don't think he's nearly as good as he was before because that assist really did take a beating. So he's number 2 on the unexpected losers list. And finally, the third and biggest unexpected loser, in my opinion, is Android 17. So Android 17, nothing changed about him in the patch except for like minor bug fixes. And so the thing is, a lot of people considered him in contention for the worst character in the game. But all the other characters that were close to the worst character, characters like Beerus, like Nappa, like Frieza, they all got pretty decent buffs. And Android 17 got nothing. So you know, it's a bad look for him. I think most people consider him the worst character in the game now. I'm not entirely sure that he's as bad as people say. I think there's a lot of exploring left to do on the character. But one thing that's for sure is that, like, the reward that you get for putting in work with this character is just not high enough. If you're trying to really grind out stuff with this character, he's really, really hard to play. It's going to take a lot of work to get wins with him, where you could just play literally anyone else and have an easier time. So there's very little reason to play Android 17 right now. I think I can agree that he's very weak. I don't know if I'm entirely convinced that he's the worst character, but he is very weak, and to me, he's just not worth the effort. So I think they need to give him something, just make him a little bit easier to play, give him some better normals so that he doesn't just get destroyed in neutral, maybe give him some more legit mix-ups that you can't just deal with by doing down heavy or reflect or stuff like that. Give him something. So I think he needs something. I don't think you're going to be seeing this character whatsoever in tournament top 8s. It's just a bummer. For a character who I think is so interesting and so dynamic, he's got a lot of interesting stuff that no other characters have, but it's just you're never going to see it used because he's so hard to play, so little reward for all the work that you're putting in to take advantage of those tools. So Android 17 I think is by far the biggest loser. It's unfortunate. He's a cool character. He's just garbage right now. So those are my thoughts for the losers. Let's jump to the 3 unexpected winners. Alright, so the first unexpected winner here is Android 18. So only very minor buffs for Android 18. She didn't get much. A lot of people were hoping for like a command throw buff, or maybe like a buff to her assist or something like that. She did not get that, and she actually did kind of suffer an indirect nerf, same as Cooler. Her assist is mostly used defensively, but now you can't call it in a lot of those situations where there's just a small gap. You can no longer call her assist, so that is kind of a bummer, but she does have one big thing going for her, and that's her level 3. So Bardock and Android 16 formerly had probably the best level 3s in the game because of the mix-up that you can get afterwards. But Android 18, her post-level 3 mix-up is actually crazy. I think a lot of people didn't know about it, or they just didn't care because Bardock was just better. But now that Bardock doesn't have his level 3, Android 18 has probably the best level 3 in the game. So nice thing about it, you can do it in the ground or in the air, and you still get the same mix-up. It doesn't matter where you land the level 3, you're still getting that really crazy, robust mix-up. So that's really good. You can go for so much. You can go for a safe jump, you can go for empty jump low. Also, you know, if you have her in second slot, I think this might be a common strategy pretty soon for her. Have her in second slot, build up 3 meters, then whenever you get a hit with your point character, bring her in, and then all of a sudden, here we go, into level 3, and then we get that killer mix-up, and then if this mix-up lands, that is definitely a dead character. So she just gets so much off this level 3, she can do it in any situation. Do not sleep on this level 3. It's basically Bardock level 3. Like, honestly, it basically is as good as Bardock level 3 was before the nerf. Now Bardock level 3 is kind of significantly worse, but Android 18 level 3 is unchanged. So don't sleep on this character. I think she's going to be on more teams. I don't necessarily think she'll be ubiquitous like Bardock was, but she'll definitely be on more teams than she was before. Do not sleep on Android 18. She's crazy. So next up, another unexpected winner, I think, is Yamcha. So Yamcha really... He obviously has always had an amazing assist, one of the best assists in the game, but as a point character, I think he had 2 really big problems that kept him from being that good. So one of the problems is he just kind of sucks at getting in and dealing with projectiles. He doesn't really have any way to get in on the opponent quickly. And then his other problem is when he does get in, his damage was just not that good. He has generally below average damage in most situations. Most of the time he struggles to do like 40-50%. Except in super optimal situations. But they have fixed this issue in a big way. So I did not realize this when the patch first came out, but now there's a change to his Wolffang Fist where you can now juggle them into heavy Wolffang Fist, dash up, and continue your combo. So it's a little bit tricky, but once you get the timing, like, just for very little effort, we're doing 50% here. Very little effort, 2 meters, so you are going to need a little bit more meter, but generally you're going to be running him second or third because of the assists, so he's usually going to have some meter. But now, like, once you have a lot of meter, Yamcha's damage really starts to get out of control. Like, he can just cash in so much meter for so much damage. He can kill you so much off of these frame traps and stuff like that. Very, very big damage character now in these circumstances where you can combo into the heavy Wolf Fang Fist. So I think another kind of sideways buff for Yamcha, in addition to the damage, is also that two of the best support characters just got nerfed. So Android 16 and Bardock, people like to run them in slot 2 and 3 because of their level 3 and because of their assists. But now I think you're going to be seeing a lot less of them. But now look who we got. We got Yamcha. We got another really good support character to throw in that second or third slot to kind of replace them. So I think you're going to be seeing a lot more Yamcha. I think he's very strong now and a very big threat. So watch out. I'm very scared of this character now. So Yamcha is my second unexpected winner. And finally, our biggest unexpected winner here, maybe not that unexpected to a lot of you, but it's Gotenks. So Gotenks actually got a pretty sizable nerf in this patch. That nerf is that when you combo into his level 3, formerly it would be really common to go for setups like 6S or Air Dash, and you can get a really ambiguous high-low afterwards. But now you can't do it. Now, after his level 3, you can't input anything until his feet touch the ground. So his post-level 3 mix-up, while not completely removed, is now a lot weaker. So that's a bummer. But it's not as bad as what happened to Bardock and Android 16. And the thing, like I was saying with Android 17, like, if you're close to being the worst character in the game and all the other worst characters get buffed, all of a sudden that's really bad for you. Well, it's the opposite for Gotenks. Close to being the best character. I think most people would have considered him top 3 before, but now the other 2 in the top 3 got pretty big nerfs, so all of a sudden I think he's the undisputed champ. To me, Gotenks is without a doubt the best character in the game now. I think you're going to see him all over. Best support character in the game easily, especially now that Android 16's assist got nerfed. Gotenks' assist is crazy. It's always been crazy. That's not changing. Plus on point, he's really, really good. He's not the most damaging character, but he's just got everything. He's just so hard to hit. His neutral is incredible. His mix-ups are really good. And even though they did nerf his level 3, it's not useless. Like, you know, in these situations where you don't get that same crazy mix-up you got before, you can still get a decent mix-up. You can still, you know, run up and go high-low. It's not, like, amazing like it was before, but it's not terrible. So, Gotenks, I think, is probably going to be one of the more popular tournament characters now, without a doubt. Which is a shame because I hate him. I hate the little rat baby. I find him so annoying to fight, but whatever. It'll be interesting to see a character like this on top as opposed to a character like Bardock or Android 16. We'll have to see how it shakes up the meta, but let me know down in the comments, what do you guys think? Are there any winners or losers that I did not include that you think need to be there? Obviously, there are characters who got really big buffs. I think Beerus is going to shoot up a lot in the tier list. I think Piccolo might be top 5 now, but let me know, what do you guys think? So as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click either of the links here on screen to go to more content from me. Make sure to click the link to my patch notes rundown video in case you missed that and you want to see all the changes that happened in the big patch. So that's going to be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.